Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then Joseph, if you are on that Facebook page, put your volume on mute on your Facebook page. So, and I learned that the hard way, brother.
I've done that to myself as well.
Yeah.
Let me just...
Awesome. So we're on. I see us live. Okay, awesome. So we're good there. I think we're all on mute. Brian, you're on mute on there too, so we're good. And Brian, mute that. If you open up the community page, brother, just mute on there, so we're good. And guys, welcome. We're going to continue to say, for those of you who are on the Facebook page, comment and say hi to Joseph. Justine is watching with us. Hey, Justine, welcome. We got everybody on. And then I'm going to keep saying hi over here.
Hey, everybody.
We got tons of comments. Everyone say hi, everyone. What's up, Sergio? Good to see you, my friend.
You have one cool, crazy group.
Oh, big time. Jerry's from Houston. He's like, howdy, Alex. What's up, buddy?
I used to live in Austin.
Yeah. We got Jean from Virginia. What's up, Deborah? Good to see you. Hey, Tim. Tim is a class act. You're going to love Tim. Reese, hello. What's up, Cheryl? Welcome. Kenneth, welcome. Good barbecue in Austin, Jerry says. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Can't go wrong there. Kim says hello from Ohio. Actually, yeah, tell us where you guys are calling from. What's up, Eric? Welcome. We got Woodstock, New York in the house. Tenacious T, who we just did a success testimonial. Congratulations, Tina, for making $65,000 in 9 months in the business. Way to go. What's up, Porter, north of Houston? Welcome. Fort Worth, Texas in the house. That's where I went to law school for a year before I changed my ways and went the business route. Before I gained some sanity. For all the lawyers, I still love you. Don't worry. Chisula, what's up, Big Daddy? Good to see you. Chicago in the house. Brr. Yeah, I bet you guys are cold. I'm not even going to rub it in about being in Southern California right now.
Me too in San Diego.
We can't say anything. The Easterners will kill us. Yeah. Wes and Barbie from Jersey. What's up, Connecticut in the house? Eric, what's up, buddy? Good to have you. And then let's just say hi on Facebook. We'll get things rocking, brother. Let's see who's up here from Facebook. If you're on Facebook, guys, comment below so we can say hi to you.
I got Julius is on Facebook.
All right, cool. Brian's going to cover it. Awesome. What's up, Julius?
Julius.
Michelle's in the house. Harvey, what's up? Patrick from Naples, Florida. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you. All right, awesome. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Shall we get the show on the road, guys? Let's do it. Let me get this going. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited actually to be sharing with you guys tonight what we're going to be covering. And it's going to be one surprise after another. You guys are going to feel like it's Christmas tonight. Thanks to Joseph. And you guys have Joseph to thank for all of this. In fact, Joseph, after we're done, that second surprise I told you about, I want you to jump on there because I want you to see everyone's face.
I'll be there for you.
You rock, since it's pretty much you who we have to owe this to. And for your generosity on this for our members. So, guys, let me start this shindig. So, okay, great. So, guys, we're going to get started so we can run on time because I want to be respectful of your time. Speaking of time, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. I always say the most graceful thing you can ever give anyone is your time. So, thank you so much for doing that tonight. And I promise you, we're going to respect your time. By the end of this webinar, hopefully you guys are going to learn something that will literally change the way you've thought, the way you actually work, and more importantly, getting to the deep root of why most people have really not had success and they can't figure out why, and we're going to share that with you. Now, as we define success, we define this in a lot of different ways. Some of us define it by having a healthier relationships. Some of us define it by making more money. Some of us define it by more time. What's so great is by the end of this, we're going to show you guys exactly how to get to the root of that and make it happen, okay? So we're super, super excited. And with that said, before we move on to 2018, hold on, guys. Oh, that's great. Alex was really good, and then he started with the wrong webinar, so that would be... So it goes just to show you that we screw up just as much as everybody else. You guys probably already know that, though. Our members know us real well. The founders do a really good job of screwing up. So what we're going to be talking about today Now, that looks more like the title I was looking for. How to really stop breaking New Year's resolutions and set up 2018 where you guys have long-term success. That is the result you guys are going to get by the end of this webinar, okay? So thanks for taking time for being here for our free masterclass. Just so you guys know, for those of you who are joining us online, you might have gotten a link about this from someone. This masterclass is actually it's being hosted by 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. It's an online business. We are actually the #1 online business for professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, and retirees. One thing you're going to get to know about us, I know like most of what you see online is pretty much BS. 95% of it is, guys. So what you're going to see today is literally tactics and strategies that you guys are going to be able to implement right after this webinar. I come from a private equity background. Brian is an ex-business owner. We're 2 of the founders. The third one is having dinner right now. And we come from really a traditional business background where we're not really much into BS. So everything you're going to see on this webinar, stuff that you guys, tactics and strategy could use. So thanks for being on here. And what we're going to be doing is talking about a product that we're actually launching today that we've done with Joseph. And yet you guys are literally going to get the strategies that he's used to help a lot of other his clients, members to be able to have success right away. Okay, so let's talk about why most people are not able to accomplish their goals. And here's really what it comes down to. We always have a brand new year, and now we're turning from 2017 to 18, right? And the year before that was 2016 to 17. The challenge is, why do most people not reach their goals? Is really simple, guys. It's the same us that keeps coming into the new year. It's the same person. So it makes it really challenging to be able to have new results when it's the same person that continues to come throughout the year, right? So what ends up happening is we keep getting the same results. For most people, as they say with the gyms, most gym memberships go way up in January and cancellations are at a high record in February, right? So what we want to do is teach you guys how to have long-term success no matter what you do. So as Tony Robbins likes to say, there's really 2 things that you guys wanted to be able to do in order to have long-lasting success in 2018. And what is that? The first one is mindset, which he says psychology is about 80% of it. And the second one is strategy, okay? On this webinar tonight, what we're going to cover is we're going to start off with the mindset, and Joseph's going to really share that with us. The challenge is, I know a lot of you guys have heard about mindset. And while we've done things, not all of us can have long-term success. And here's the primary reason. The #1 reason is because it's based on your subconscious. And that's why I can refer to it. Imagine you have a tree. Most of us are focusing on the branches and changing the branches when really the problem has to do with the root, right? We got to get to the root of the problem so we can be able to fix it. And so how you do that is that you really start working on the subconscious. 85% of what we believe is in our subconscious, which is the root, right? So if that's the case, why is that the deal? Well, most of that subconscious is really based on how we've been parented, our environment. So how do we rewire this, right? Because it's something that we believe it's who we are, but yet we can always rewire our subconscious for success. So how do we do that? Get to the root. Well, we are very fortunate that someone is taking their gracious time with us tonight and going to be sharing with us. And I know Joseph is too humble to brag, so I'm going to do it for him. He's a celebrity coach and hypnotist. He's had over 7 million downloads in 218 countries, has an unbelievable podcast. And what's amazing about what he's been able to do is how many success stories I've seen from him, including your own here. I actually, Joseph and I met through a mastermind online about a year ago. He made me one of his custom track CDs that I've been listening to for a year. Hey guys, I cannot tell you how instrumental that has been to my personal success in this business. And I'm going to share with you some of the numbers, what we've done. For those of you who don't know us, and this isn't to brag, but on the average, since listening to these CDs, his tracks, I've made a little bit over $1.5 million every year for the last year. And again, that's not to brag or to boast, but just to show you that the products really work. I live in my dream home now with this wonderful view that I have. I'm literally in my backyard right now in a 6,500 square foot property, and it literally has so much to do with these products because I was able to rewire my brain for success. And so I've been listening to this for a year, every morning, every night. So I'm literally proof that this stuff works, and so I'm super stoked. And we've been very blessed by this. Okay, he's also a best-selling on the Hay House author of his book Be Your Potential, and so what's really great about, I mean, just phenomenal. It's a little about his background. So by the end of this webinar, here's what you guys are going to learn and discover. Number one, he's going to show you why 85% of your success has nothing to do with what you're currently doing. But if you just flip this one thing like a light switch, you guys can reach your full potential. He's going to show you guys how to supercharge your vision so you can get what you want on autopilot. I like those words, Joseph. I love the word autopilot. We have automation. Joseph has autopilot. And he's going to let you guys know how to get really rid of the self-sabotage that we have, that most of us have, including me and Brian, when it comes to reaching our goals, and how to discover the hidden root cause that blocks everything you do within 60 seconds. Now, I've never seen him do this. I'm actually really excited. I want to see what he actually does within 60 seconds. We could be able to do this. And the secret system that literally reprograms your mind so you guys can have success all while you sleep. So how many of you love this? If you guys love this, I want you to comment right now saying, Alex, can't wait. Let's hear it, Joseph. And I want to hear right now all the comments, all the hands are going up.
We don't have to do all that. We can do something else if people don't want to.
Guys, what do you think? Should we do that? I think everybody's super excited and they're ready to go. So
there we go.
With that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to leave it to the man of the hour and let you take it away, my friend. So it is all yours.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited, and thank you to both Alex and Brian for allowing me this opportunity to be speaking with you, because by you showing up here today, it really means that you're ready to step up, tune in, tap into exactly what you want. So as Alex said, to get exactly what you want on autopilot. Now, the beautiful thing about our mind is it is reprogrammable. We can change it, we can mold it, we can cultivate it in a way that gives us the power back. Alex was saying right in the beginning that, like the first beginning part of our life for our parents, for society, we can be conditioned with certain mindsets. Our past experience ultimately is allowing us to be in this present moment right now. Our past experience. Now, most people allow their past experience to continue to carry on that way, to allow the same old things happening all the time. Now, what I want to share with you today is how you can make the absolute transformation by reprogramming your mind. Now, let me put it this way, just to give you a bit of a convincer. If you could just change, let's just say you don't feel you're good enough, worthy, or you're experiencing fear, self-sabotage, anxieties, worries, doubts. If you could just change like that, wouldn't you just change? Of course, right? Let me know. If you could just let go of your issues just by clicking your fingers, you'd absolutely do so. Exactly, right? But if you cannot do that yourself consciously, if you cannot do that, it must mean your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, is holding on to the blocks. It is holding on to the beliefs. The beliefs are run at an unconscious level, not a conscious level. Our past memories are stored in the unconscious. Our emotions, we don't choose always to feel happy or to feel sad and things like that. It is programmed into our system. And by going through many events, sometimes our past emotional wounds show up, and they continue to show up in our experience, and it just solidifies deeply at an unconscious level. Now, what if I could tell you that there is a way that you can absolutely supercharge your subconscious mind that allows it to realize exactly what you want, why you want it, and it begins to look for it just like that. And on top of that, what would happen if we could finally let go of the self-sabotage? Because the self-sabotage is usually based on one or two things, like the fear and the anxiety. It's rarely down to anything else at a subconscious level. And then finally, if we can get to the root cause of the issue, and by issue, very soon I want you to get a pen and paper, because it's going to really help us as we go through this. I want you to map this out. So that means you can utilize it for the great surprise that Alex has in store for you after this coaching call. You see, if we can get our system to fully be on our side, rather battling it, rather continuously experiencing the worries, doubts, and fears, the limiting self-talk, all the way through, if we can finally let that go, what would be happening to your life? How would you change? Go ahead and let me know in the chat box. I'm looking at both right now. If you could finally...
I'll read it out for you too,
Oh,
brother.
perfect.
Okay, great. So Sheila says, I want to definitely let go. So what's the question, Joseph?
So if you could finally, absolutely, once and for all, let go of all your blocks, how would your life change?
I love it. Eileen, so Greg says, buy a house. Everybody comment now.
Buy a
So how
house,
would your life
freedom.
change? Eileen says, freedom. Sergio says, totally. Matt says, immense self-belief. Harvey says, time freedom, to help others with what they want to do. That's awesome, guys. Eileen says, peace, starting with those close to me, helping everybody they can. That's what Hockey says. Tori says, to be more confident. All of them are coming in. You guys are awesome. Ebony, peace of mind. Andrea, to make more sales. Harvey says, to be a better father. That's awesome, Harvey. Tremendous peace and freedom for Mary. Caesar says, live the best life possible. That's great. Jimmy, going without fear. Aline says, getting out of debt. Go on, my friend.
Great. So first of all, you are perfect in all of your solutions, all the ways that you want to be. Now, what I want to share with you is a systematical blueprint that allows you to resolve the things which are holding you back. There are some conscious things we have to do. I mean, I think of it like this, right? Imagine a satellite navigation system. What's the first thing that we do when we get into our car, turn on the engine, and we start to do what with a satellite navigation, the GPS? We put in our destination, don't we? Now, more often than not, many people go through life focusing on the absolute wrong destination. They focus on the scarcity, the worry, the fear, the lack of money, the anxiety, the issue which is in the forefront of our mind. And guess what happens? Our unconscious mind is programmed to focus more upon what we're consciously focusing on. So we have to tap into the unconscious mind to be able to get it to tune in an unconscious, conscious way, at a congruent way that actually gets your life on autopilot, like I said in the beginning. So the first thing I want you to do right now, I want you to go ahead and get a pen and paper. And as you do that, I want you to consider what your goal is. So just consider that if you could achieve a goal this year, maybe in the next 4 to 6 weeks, so let's make it really nice, cool, and awesome, what would that goal be? Go ahead and let us know in the comments. That means I have a good idea of how to get our mind in the right place. Go ahead,
everybody. If you could do a goal with the next 4, what would you guys say? Eileen says make 2 sales. That's awesome, Eileen. How about everybody else comment? Hockey says make 20K. Okay, so 1 sale, Hockey. Hillary, that's awesome. Matt says 100K. Perfect. Denise says 100,000 in sales. 5 sales, 30K. I love how most of these are financial. It's pretty cool.
So here's the thing, right? I knew that was coming.
That's awesome.
Think about this, right? Now I want us to switch our mindset. Let's change it from 100K or 250K and put it to what an acorn is. Okay. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of an acorn? So just an acorn, what is the purpose? Now, many people might say, well, the purpose of an acorn, Joseph, is to feed the environment, like the squirrels. Now, you'd be absolutely right there. But what else is the purpose? Maybe even bigger than that. Maybe that acorn, the second aspect of the purpose, would be to grow into an oak tree. But even bigger than that, what else is the purpose of that acorn? Well, it could be to grow a forest. It could be to be able to utilize that forest and make 5. And it could go even bigger than that, to build houses, books, tables, everything. Look around in your room right now. Notice what may be made out of wood. You see, in the beginning, we might think that acorn or that 50 grand or 100 grand is one level of what it is. Now, when it comes to money, money is the most interesting thing when it comes to goals and outcomes. You see, money is just a number. So what I want you to do on a piece of paper is just write down whatever number you put up. So is it 50,000, or if you said like make 2 sales, notice what number that would account to, and then just put it right in the middle there. You see, most people just focus on the money, and guess what? They don't get always the money, because the unconscious mind cannot be able to see money as a tangible thing. It does not know that it's important to you. There's no emotion there. There's no feeling there. There's no values there. There's nothing which gives it motivation to get money. So what I want to share with you is how to supercharge your unconscious mind to get at least that number and even more. Okay. So as you go ahead and put it there, ask yourself this question. What would that money get you? What would it get you? And just kind of brainstorm it out. Maybe it might be that house I saw someone say. It could be to begin flying lessons. I can see that one. Notice a good more money ones. And what will that money give you? How would it transform your family, your children? And write down specifically how that financial number will actually benefit your family. Really spread it out. Now, as you consider that, how will that transform your health? By hitting that goal or more. I always like to say or more, because that means you're going to get the minimum or a lot more. So notice what else it will do for your health. How would it transform your lifestyle? How would it transform? What would it give you if you were to experience that financial abundance on a spiritual, emotional, and physical level? What would it give you? Would it give you peace? Would it give you freedom? Because we can go into the emotive states as well, the internal world and the external world. There we go, got peace right here. Travel, got help others. Go on to road
Other
trip.
family members. I want a confidence to do anything I want to do, Jamel says, to have any amount of money so that way I can be my true self. That's awesome, Jamel. More to give to my church. That's awesome, Pat. My 5 sales basically to help disabled vets to play golf with me. Love a fellow man. That's awesome.
Let me just go for that one right there.
Sure.
What has more emotion to it to you right now, everybody? Say 50,000, or the emotion which comes when it takes the disabled veterans to play golf with you. Right. What feels more emotive? Is it the 50,000, or is it actually helping people and serving your community?
Right. What
feels more powerful? Now consider that, everybody. Most people, as you go out for your day to day, you're kind of thinking of the salary, you're thinking of just the money number. You have to tap into every aspect of the feeling that is giving you that freedom. Notice how you can experience something deeper than just the money. And as you consider that, begin to list it out. Now, as you list it out, ask yourself this one question. What feeling does that give you? Let's go with the vet one, for example, because that's a great one.
Sure. So guys, what feeling would it give you if you guys hit all your goals? We'll go ahead and comment now. Whether Facebook, another one. Pat says comfort, powerful, inner peace, joy. Joy, Ebony says. Doc says unbelievable joy, blessed. Rhonda says peace. Christine says less stress, blessed, humble. Excitement from Rory, graceful. Matt says freedom, mind expansion, servant attitude, useful. Happiness of giving to my goddaughter. That's awesome. And I saw Steve wanted to pay for his daughter's wedding, and he says that would make me feel proud.
Now, once again, let's feedback the question. When you think about the money level of the goal, which most people focus on the surface,
right?
What is more motivating? Paying for your child's wedding and being so proud and so fulfilled and having the gratitude, the joy, the peace, the fulfillment, the reward, the pay it forward. We know intuitively, physically, and emotionally, you are far more aligned to the thing. Like the money is just a product. It's a thing which comes and goes, but the experience which comes with it is a thing that motivates you. So your job is, at a conscious level, is to not just focus on the money. Sometimes it's not even about that, because that can breed scarcity sometimes. You must be totally motivated as you map this out and ask yourself, as I look at all the things it's going to get me, what's it going to cause me to emotionally, spiritually, physically feel in my life? Where it be helping people, doing all those things, what's it going to cause you to feel? Now, your job as a way of being, we've got a great surprise for you, who's going to really transcend this process. But your job is to focus as a destination. The thing which causes you to rise, the thing which motivates you, the thing which enlarges your world. You see, when you go ahead and go, well, this is what I want, the 50K, but then I consider what that's going to get me and all the emotions and how I'm going to pay it forward. If you wake up every day, as you wake up and you begin to look at that, you begin to experience it, you begin to hallucinate it, your body will begin to feel it. It will begin to resonate with it, and it will start to get everything in alignment with that one feeling that you came up with. Now, the good news is you're going to get the money, but you're going to get so much more than that. You're going to have a better connection with your relationship. You're going to have a better relationship with your children. You're going to be able to have the emotional abundance. You're going to have the joy, the gratitude in everything you do, because now we're just tuning in and tapping into the frequency of the absolute goal. And therefore, your unconscious mind is totally supercharged because that is meaningful. Your unconscious mind is here to protect you, keep you safe, and allow you to grow. Just that number does not fulfill that. But I can guarantee you, as you look at everything that you filled out, that prime directive of your unconscious mind will be satisfied deeply and so motivated by experiencing the bigger picture, the reason why you want what you want. Does that make sense, everybody?
Guys, if it makes sense, everybody comment below yes. And on Facebook, comment yes. I want to see some more comments on Facebook. I know you guys got a ton of people on here. Awesome.
Oh, here we go. We're getting loads of yeses. So let's make this declaration together, everybody. That you declare that you are not only going to focus just on the money goal, because that's what the theme was when it came to like most people.
Right.
But your job, your sole job, you must commit from your heart that you're going to reflect upon the whole picture and the feeling that it will give you having made that change. Let's wrap it around to the acorn again. The acorn was the 50,000. But as we began to expand upon it, we saw it feeds the environment. It begins to build things. It begins to cultivate things. It begins to enlarge and develop the world by its potentiality. The 50,000 is a great potentiality, or more, 100,000, 500,000 is a great potentiality, but you must be fine-tuned in exactly what it's going to give you, because that will make you rise up. Makes sense.
That is awesome, brother.
Now, here's the thing, though. When it comes to self-sabotage, who experiences self-sabotage? I want to see lots of...
I know, I'm raising my hand. I do it all the time.
Okay.
Anybody get it? And everybody, you can, there are people actually placing the raise their hand one too, as well as putting yes.
Yeah, just like this. Sometimes two hands.
Right.
Okay, so you see, on the one hand, when you go ahead and enlarge in your world, because it's sequential, this mindset mini training is sequential. If you think of like now your big ultimate vision, your mission, your vision and your purpose, then you know that is awesome. But sometimes you'll like just trip up. Sometimes you'll self-sabotage ourselves. Now, there is only one reason that we self-sabotage, and it's not consciously. You see, we think that we do it consciously, but once again, it is deep-rooted into your unconscious mind. Let me give you an example. Let's just say that you wanted to become a celebrity, or someone did. What would be the downfalls or the pitfalls of being a celebrity? Let me know in the Facebook chat and also the...
Guys, go ahead and comment. What would be the downfall of being a celebrity? Sergio says fame. Eileen says no privacy. Tina says lack of privacy. Everyone
I saw stalkers as well. I saw stalkers there.
I see a paparazzi. Ebony says living in a glass house. That's a great analogy, Teresa.
Surrounded by fakes.
Open book. Yeah, drugs, Tori says, because we've seen that a lot. No peace for family. Pat, that's so true, because it's hard to have any kind of privacy for your family. Yeah. Everything is on the public light. Dependency on others for your time, JD says. And no real friends, Harvey says.
Yeah, we've got fake friends here. We've got new friends, ultimately, like new friends who just want to be able to get everything. Maybe even on a monetary level that we're going to get more taxes, which at a subconscious level, although it's a great thing, at a subconscious level, what happens? Each and every one of those, let me just remember the paparazzi, the new friends, the fake friends, the family wanting stuff from you, the lack of
trust
privacy.
People who like you for you versus your fame.
Yeah, always having to be leveling up to the next thing. Maybe you're going to be old news tomorrow. All of those emotions, when you think about those things, is based on fear and anxiety. They're worries. Now, if you have some downsides to your goal, and trust me, that 50,000 or 100,000, whatever you put down, as great as it is, as great as your ultimate vision is, all the things we expanded upon, without doubt, with every goal, there's always going to be some downside. Now, if we put it in the context of what we just said, like the lack of privacy, paying more taxes and all those things, consider your goal for this year and what might be the downfalls, because there will be some.
Mhm.
And just note those right now, because if they remain at a subconscious level, because they operate at a subconscious level, they will hold you back from achieving that big dream, that big vision we just created very quickly. So note them down. Be clear on the things which might actually pull you up, because that is what's going to be self-sabotaging yourself. Your self-sabotage comes from when you think of the goal
Mhm.
and the downside of that goal, what could go wrong, the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of not being able to handle certain situations. You must be crystal clear at a conscious level, because right now they're remaining at an unconscious level. Now you have to bring them up to the surface, and that means we can do one of two things, we can do two things ultimately to be able to alleviate that, because it's going to happen, right? In potentiality. So the one thing that you can do is this. When you take the example of a celebrity, you become at peace at a conscious level of those potential setbacks. So if there's a lack of privacy, you have to, in your heart, just know, like, you know, that it's okay to have a lack of privacy. You have to know that someday you're going to have to keep on making sure that you protect your family. You're going to make sure that, you know, some people may be trying to take you down, from like the haters and things like that. You have to be conscious of them and be okay with them. You see, if you now suddenly think about being a celebrity, and now you go to yourself, actually, now I've uncovered them, I'm actually at peace that there will be some downsides. It's inevitable. It happens sometimes. My inner alignment and your inner alignment will be far more congruent to get the goal. The unconscious mind will not self-sabotage you. But to double it up, all you have to do is this. You have to ask yourself, what can you do? Well, it's more of a how question. How can you alleviate or make sure that you get the opposite in some way? So in the example of the lack of privacy, what will be your game plan to be able to deal with that situation? Maybe you have a certain hideaway. Maybe there's something that you can do to protect your family. Now, once you become at peace, and then number two, you come up with a game plan, guess what? Your body, your system, your subconscious mind cannot self-sabotage you. Because not only is it big motivated, it is actually now realizing you're 100% congruent and aligned at a conscious and unconscious level to tap in and tune in to exactly what you want without any holdups. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense, everybody? So essentially, just so I can ask you, so what you're doing is you're really tapping in consciously of all the things, like maybe even fear of success, right? Like all the things that we don't know, the unknown.
Fear of failure.
Yeah. The fear of failure. And then, so what we're doing is just we're tapping in consciously and unconsciously into the things that that may happen, that we may have to deal with, and be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea is this. They will be there beneath the surface anyway. Your unconscious mind will hold on to those self-sabotaging behaviors based on the potential drawbacks of the goal that you want. But once you become aware of them consciously,
sure,
and then you come up with a way of being at peace with them, going, look, it's okay if I have a lack of privacy. It might happen, it might not, but I'm okay. Right. And also, number two, here's my game plan. Now my unconscious mind no longer has to fulfill that self-sabotaging behavior. The only reason it was doing it, because there's lots of potential drawbacks.
Yeah, Greg said, I just said it too, and Greg says, makes sense. It makes sense to me too. Harvey says us being mentally proactive. Absolutely.
Yeah, it means you're just totally 100% congruent and aligned with exactly what you want. And therefore, your unconscious mind works you. Let me put it this way. Who's up for a really cool exercise of how the mind and body is totally interconnected?
Who's up for it? I'm raising my hand right 100%. Now. You can't see me. 100%. Mary says me. Max says me. Eileen, me.
There's going to be a real fun one for you, okay? So let's just consider in our mind that our unconscious mind, number one, it was just focused on the monetary gain of like the 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, but it didn't have that emphasis. So at an unconscious level, that's all it was experiencing, and therefore it didn't have the drive. And on top of that, it may be self-sabotaging you. Let me prove to you how your unconscious mind and conscious mind, your mind and body is totally interconnected. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to do, everyone at home, I want you to do this. I'm going to step away from this a little bit, but I'm going to elevate my voice.
Awesome.
I want you to go ahead and put your hands just like this.
Okay.
Physically, as you put your hands out like this, I want you to keep your hips and your feet in the same place, and I want you to begin to rotate. Yeah, I can hear you doing that, Alex.
Yep.
You're such good at like taking action with things. I love it. And I want you to go ahead and move around and notice where your hand points on the back of the wall or wherever you are. Just make a mental note with your feet rooted, your hands in front of you, then move them all the way around and notice where you go to, okay? Now, if once you've done that, bring your hands all the way back down and just relax them. So what I want you to do now, knowing we've physically just got our hands down and you've noted where your hands were, in your mind only in your mind, so nothing physical to do. This is the power of your unconscious mind. With your eyes totally closed now, imagine in your mind with your eyes closed, without physically moving any of your hands or arms or anything like that, imagine those arms being in front of you again. Now, as you imagine it in your mind, just floating there, imagine those hands going all the way around, right to the place that it pointed to when you physically did it. Now, go ahead and imagine those hands coming all the way back in front of you. And then imagine again, without physically doing anything again, imagine them going in front of you and then going all the way around, but this time going like 6 to 8 inches further in your mind. So your hands are actually going beyond that marker. And then finally, what I want you to do is imagine those hands coming all the way back down, right onto your hands again, or your lap, your hips. And then imagine your mind them going up one more time. And this time, my friend, I want you to imagine it going all the way around. And it's doing 180, then 360, all the way around, as if you're just like an owl and you're just rotating those hands all the way around until they're in front of you again. So you've done a full rotation in your mind. And then imagine those hands coming all the way back around again in your mind, all the way around, back in front of you. And then go ahead and open your eyes for me. Have you done that?
Yep.
Good. Now I want you to do it with your eyes open. I want you to bring those hands up physically this time and just go ahead and rotate and notice what happens now.
Oh, wow.
How far did you go?
I went 3/4 of the way.
Most people say 3/4. It's so crazy.
All the way to 9 o'clock.
Isn't that crazy?
To say, how far did you guys go, guys? Comment.
Yeah, let us know.
We want to know. 180, Mary says. Eric's is 3/4, 100. Well,
90% more.
Than I did. I love it. Pat, 3/4. 3/4 went much further, a foot more. 3/4, 360 for Deborah. Jimmy says 100. 200 degrees for Hillary.
Wow,
Teresa, 100. 3/4 for Sheila. Jamel, 3/4. All the way around for Eileen. Way to go. Tim says, let's just say a lot further.
You've gone crazy there as well. Isn't it weird? Like in the beginning, consciously, you put your hands here, and I'll say it was around here. When I imagine it in my mind, just 3 times, very quickly, you go all the way back that much further. Now, the interesting thing is, who was limiting you?
The mind.
Yeah. Someone said that's freaky.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Very weird. The mind was the limitation.
Yeah.
Or more, sometimes your conscious mind. You consciously expected that was the distance. But once you began to imagine beyond your boundary, your body began to go there too. And when it goes there too, it goes beyond it. So when you start to practice it in the real world, guess what's happening? It's doing it for you. You see, once you become aware of your deeper vision, once you become at peace with those setbacks and those potential downfalls, some aspects of the goal, still worth it, but there'll be some downfalls sometimes. When you become at peace, when you become aligned with it, and you come up with a game plan to deal with it in your mind consciously, your mind and body will go further than ever before. So when you go there in the mind, your body will go there. So in other words, when we get to the great cool surprise for all the members here, imagine what would happen if your unconscious mind was simply and easily programmed all while you slept, that it allowed you to go beyond your limitations, your perceived limitations, to get that total self-belief, to be able to let go of any fears of learning or anything like that, so you can fully immerse at a conscious and unconscious level. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, and Jody said it was hard the first time. The second time I went a lot further and it didn't even hurt.
Wow, isn't that cool? Sometimes our body will hold hallucinatory emotions and fears around things, or
Absolutely.
pain, because it didn't perceive it. I do this all the time with some of my clients when it comes to some levels of pain, because it's around emotional stuff sometimes. Once you let go, then you are free. You are free and clear. So that is exactly where we're heading. Now, so Deborah said, whatever it is, I want it.
That's awesome.
So here's the thing.
You're gonna love your surprise. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's going to be so awesome. Here's what I wanted to do as well when it comes to the one thing that is holding you back, that if you let go of, will cause your whole life to transcend on every single level. Because on the one level, we've supercharged, we can go deeper into that as well by yourself, but you've supercharged your mission and vision. You began to become aware of the setbacks, but usually there's a little bit of doubt, there's a little bit of limiting belief. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and list out, and we can shout these out on the chat box as well, Alex.
Cool.
But, what are your symptoms that you go through on a daily basis? So for example, it could be anxiety. It could be worry. Go ahead and let us know on
whatever it is, guys. So what are the things so these are stuff that basically keep us from, like self-sabotage, like you would say, right?
Yeah, your pain points, the things which are holding you back.
So rejection for Tim, exhaustion for Eileen, fear of losing what I already have. That's great, Pat. Fear, stress, procrastination for Mike. Unworthiness, Eileen, that's great. Fear of rejection for Carlene. Anxiety and stress for Rory. See, Alan, awesome. Pressure. Tori, fear and stress. Unsure what comes next. Yeah, fear of the unknown, right? We all deal with that. That's really great. I deal with that a lot, so that's great. High anxiety, procrastination for Hockey, fear of failure for Harvey, anxiety, unworthiness, fear for Deborah. This is awesome, guys. David said fear in general. Go ahead.
I love how someone said all of the above.
Right.
Because it's true, right? Can you see how we all experience the same type of things? Look.
Fear what our friends think and what our family thinks. That's hugely. 3
in a row with fear of failure.
Yeah.
So it's a universal thing.
Absolutely.
So I want everyone to write down on a piece of paper all their symptoms. So as a recap, you might put anxiety, you might put doubt, you might have fear of picking up the phone. You might have fear of my own power. I can see here. Is it Genevieve? That's an awesome one. Alan said, not good enough, failure. We got procrastination, lack of follow through. Write all of those down. Because I got this one thing, which I actually said it'll take 60 seconds. I'm going to guess it's going to take for about 10 seconds, okay? To get to the root cause of all your issues. So as you write them all down right now, all the things that you might physically feel, emotionally feel, the things which show up in your life, which are a constant issue for you, the symptoms of your life, because the symptoms show up around you all the time. As we enter the environment, we experience certain symptoms of how we act and react with the external world around us. It's just how the humans work. You see, when we begin to become aware of this, I want to ask yourself, as you write all this down, one question. Would that be okay?
That be okay, guys?
One question which will absolutely get to the root cause of all your issues.
Yes, everyone says. Tim says yes.
You have such a crazy, cool, proactive group. I love it. It just means that these guys are going to completely love this game.
We got an awesome community. These are awesomely awesome people. Okay.
So here's the thing then. As you've listed out all the symptoms you experience on a piece of paper, and you've noted them, ask yourself this one question to get to the one root cause which holds them all up. So as you look at them all right now, what belief do you have about yourself that makes them exist? As you look at all those symptoms, what belief do you have about yourself that makes them all exist? And write that down in the chat box.
Got it.
So as you look at all your symptoms right now.
Jamal says fear I'm not enough. Fear I can't fix myself, not good enough. Self-doubt, not worthy, unworthy, low self-esteem. I'm not worthy. Absolutely.
Now,
we all deal with this, guys, just so you know. So as you guys can see, a lot of us are dealing with the same stuff.
There's
Same stuff I was. Mhm.
two power ones which usually come up: not good enough and not worthy. They're the main ones that society happens, because we go through society expectations, our family expectations. But yeah, there'll be other ones there as well, like fear of letting people down, self-doubt, not lovable.
Yeah. And those really, if you look at those, Joseph, the root of that is fear of not being enough or fear of worthiness.
Exactly. They're examples, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. So here's the thing then. I want to ask everyone, if you and I could make a change today, or in the next 8 weeks, or in the next, the next period of time, this year, where you, without a doubt, turn that belief on its head that you, for example, if you said not worthy, how would your life change if you felt 100% worthy, 100% good enough, where you just knew your self-worth and your magnificence and your power in this world? How would all the symptoms change? Could they even exist anymore? If you had the absolute opposite?
So guys, comment below, how would that feel? if it was the exact opposite, how would you guys feel? Become confident,
and would the symptoms go?
Anything. Free. Terry says amazing. Haki says awesome. Liberating. I love that word. Ken says orgasmic. That's nice, Kim. Complete. No limits. People are laughing. I love it. Greater focus. Yeah. Exhilarating. I love that word, Aline. Weight off my shoulders.
Wow, these are awesome ones.
Unstoppable for Harold. Bernice says great. That's awesome, guys. Thanks, guys, so much for commenting. This is awesome.
Because, I mean, here's the thing. When you stay in the sidelines and you keep this on the inside and you don't interact, the chances are you're going to remain the same.
Exactly.
If you're starting to interact and take action, things are changing. You are physically, kinesthetically moving something inside of you. So I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of your group right now. They're awesome.
That's awesome. Hillary says honored by God. I agree 100%, stud. Ruth says fabulous. Purposeful. I love that. Thank you, Curly.
So here's the thing then. We now know that the symptoms are held up by one thing, sometimes two, but usually one thing. Like the most common things are not being good enough, not being worthy, or slight differences is your own words. But if you were to let go of that one belief and felt the opposite and believed the opposite, that you are worthy and that you are good enough, those symptoms could no longer exist in your life anymore. Think about that. Most people go to the doctor to see, and they share their symptoms. Now, a very bad doctor would go, well, let's give you medication for this symptom, this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. And if you've got 50 symptoms, you got like 50 medications. Now, a good doctor would do this. They would analyze all the symptoms to come up with one cause. Now, in this example we're going for right now with you guys, that one limiting belief. If you solely let go of that one limiting belief, the symptoms can no longer exist in your life. And therefore,
that's like the root, like you mentioned. It's kind of like the root versus the leaves. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the root cause. The ones let go of will transform your life.
That's awesome.
That is the beauty. Now, think about this now, everybody. If you begin to supercharge your vision, like we said in the beginning, if you were to become at peace and come up with a game plan of any potential drawbacks, if you were to solely work, and I don't want us once again to all declare this, but I'm only going to work on that one limiting belief. I'm not going to just work on the insomnia. Think about this. People just try to like take medication for sleep.
Right.
Or lack of sleep, should I say. Now, usually what keeps us from sleeping? Anxiety, worries, and doubt.
Right.
The belief of not being good enough, the fear of tomorrow, the fear of rejection. So they're working on the wrong thing.
Right.
In society, we always work on the wrong thing when it comes
to focus on the root, which is not being good enough, like you mentioned.
Yeah. We only work on what shows up in our reality, but what shows up in our reality is just a symptom of the root cause. So your sole job, everyone here, is to only work on the core issue. Your life will transform and everything will transcend in your life.
That's awesome.
Now, has this been of value to everybody so far?
Guys, what do you think? Has it been value for you to discover the root cause and also the lesson that he taught us about becoming aware of what's in our subconscious, knowing that in advance and being okay with it? Everyone's like, heck yeah, Jamel, yes, John, yes, yes, the root, Genevieve says. Phenomenal, Sean says. Yes, amazing. Thank you. Valuable, Patrick says. Manuel says. Terry says priceless. So many comments I can't keep up. That's awesome.
Wow. I would probably suggest then, Alex, if we've covered this part, we've covered the the free topics.
Should we go over how we're going to cover the root? I'm just waiting for you to. This is awesome, by the way. Mia says, yes, he's awesome.
Thank you very much. Well, Alex, I'm kind of thinking we can either do two things, come up with a bit of a Q&A or share with them the things that we've created for them to actually.
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's do that, and then we can actually be able to move on to that. You're right. I think that's great. Pat says share. Sheila, share. Super duper yes. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so I guess I can come off. I wanted to make sure you guys got a great chance to see him. And let me start my video now. All right, guys, this is what it looks like nighttime in Alex's backyard. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to share this with you guys. Guys, how awesome was that? So I'm really excited with you guys because what we've been working behind the scenes has been very, very cool. And I'm going to do it from this slide. So we got a big gift for all the members. For those of you that are here as guests, I'm going to share with you guys a few things on this, and then we're going to go to Q&A, okay? So we're going to come back to Q&A, okay? But the biggest part to this is, and for Q&A, if you guys have questions right now for Joseph, anything that you're dealing with, just type it out. If you're on Zoom, type it out. You'll see a Q&A box in Zoom, guys. Go ahead and just click on it and type it out in the Q&A, because the comments get like, there's tons of comments, but if you put in the Q&A, I know those are questions, and then I can look at that. And then Brian's going to help me out, but we're going to look, if you're on Facebook, just comment below in the comment box, and we're going to come back to that. So do that now while I cover some of the other cool parts about this, okay? So guys, we've literally talked about mindset. We're going to talk a little bit more about what we have going on, right? So we talked about mindset. I'm going to share a little bit more about the strategy, because this is a big part. And we're talking about Tony Robbins talking about mindset and then strategy, right? So most of us want to be able to make money. Why? Because we want to break free from having a job, right? We want to be able to spend more time with family. Joseph just literally took us through these exercises, and I love the fact that he did this. We can help with the strategy all we want with the how-tos, but it's the feeling, it's the results. It's being able to pay for your daughter's wedding. It's being able to spend time with the disabled vets golfing. Like, that feeling is more intensifies us taking the action to get the results. And then the byproduct of that is the money, right? But most people don't know, like, what's the strategy? How are we able to help them, right? So for those of you who are guests on this call and you don't know anything about our business, I'm going to share with you the problem with the strategy that's out there. Most strategies online today, they want to teach you how to learn and then make money. Well, my background was a job. I had a job where I literally was traveling 42 out of 52 weeks out of the year. I want to spend more time with my family. The feelings that I wanted was being able to spend more time with family. Those are the things that was important with me. So the challenge is, for most of us, we don't have time to figure out, to learn, because we just need to learn to make money. That's the number one goal, right? So our model, what we have with 8-Figure Dream Lifestyles, we kind of flip this on its head. We teach you how to make money first, because the only way you're going to be able to learn is if you free up those 40 to 60 hours a week that you're freaking working right now, and having to spend that time is what I call about trading time for dollars and being able to learn, right? So our model actually flips it. So how do we do that, right? Well, number one, we show you how to get results. We show you how to get 5 figures a month consistently within 60 to 90 days in our business, okay? Once you guys do that, we advance you in our leadership, and we show you how to make 30K in 1 month in our business. And then you build a residual stream on the financial side, okay? And that's where you guys are literally working 30 hours a week from home, okay? But really the overall goal is, which is what I love Joseph talking about, you really want to get to legacy, which is the feeling. And what does that mean? That means now you can go back to learning, because you've already made the money. You got 60 hours free a week. You can learn about investments, Amazon, Facebook, all these things that are important. It's a $50 billion industry that's already high in demand, right? So how do we do this? We do that through our online franchise-like business that we have, through the automation, outsourcing, marketing in place. And we have a sales funnel, so there's no selling and telling. And what's best about this, as you guys can tell, we have an awesome community of entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and retirees that are literally here to help you succeed. For the last 2 years, we built this business. We've been very blessed by having a lot of members do well, advance from results to contribution to legacy where they're making a significant amount of income. They're here to help you guys succeed. Now imagine being able to have those products ready to go. You could start at 15 to 20 hours a week, and you can start making 5 figures a month consistently online within 60 to 90 days, okay? So that's a real solution that allows you guys to work around your schedule and be able to make money online, right? So here's the next step. For those of you here just visiting, you don't know anything about our business, you want to get back to the person that invited you to this webinar. What they're going to do is give you a link to our free on-demand masterclass, and that's going to show you the exact steps on the how-to. What is the strategy that's going to allow you to be able to break free? And you want to do this in the next 48 hours, because from this event, we're giving a special bonus of up to $21,000 in free bonuses. So if you're a guest and you're not already a member, guys, get back to the person that invited you. They're going to show you the strategy side, okay? Now, for those of you who are already, and by the way, this is going to show you how to build a legitimate online business that's got the automation and outsourcing and the support in place to get to 5 figures a month consistently every single month without knowing the marketing, without knowing how to sell and tell, and having live mentors in place that help you guys achieve success, okay? So that's the how-to. Now, for all you that are members, before I unveil this part, which is a surprise, I want to come back and just do the Q&A, if it's okay with you, Joseph.
Sure.
After this, we're going to switch to a special members-only webinar that we're going to have. But I'd love to be able to address y'all's questions, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing right now. We're going to come back to this. I'm so excited to share this because I know you guys are going to love this. And just like us having a system, Joseph's developed a system where you guys can implement what he just talked about with the roots. And I'm not trying to keep this from you guys. I just want to address your questions first, okay? So let's do that. And I'm going to answer a few things. So Pam, I love some of the answers you had here when you typed here. She says she would love to be able to donate to Doctors Without Borders, St. Jude's, have fun with my grandchildren. And the feelings I would get is joy, gratitude, fun, excitement, and pleasure. That's awesome, Pam. All right, so what questions do you guys have? How do I turn off my mind from anxiety to feel relaxed and feel free? And I know half these questions are going to come out to the special gift that Joseph.
I know. It's like, well, I would say that to the special gift, but no, let's give it like a quick one with that one as well, because when it comes to anxiety, if you go all the way back, way back, we had to have anxiety for survival. We had to be aware of what's around the corner, where we're going to get our food from. So it's kind of hardwired. It's not really hardwired, but it's kind of like in our system. Now, if we think of what anxiety is, it's absolutely focusing on what you don't want to happen. That's all anxiety is. If you think about it, in order for your body to feel anxiety, it has to be focusing on what you do not want. So your job with the surprise is to only focus on what you want. Remember, like the satellite navigation? If your destination, if you go like a satellite navigation or the GPS kind of thing, you get in your car, and let's just say, I'm in San Diego, and I want to see you, Alex. Okay, I want to see you. If I go ahead and put my GPS to go, actually, I'm going to go to Florida because I don't want to go there. Actually, I'm going to go all these like destinations I don't want to go to. Right. That GPS is going to find all the places I don't want to. But if I go straight into your home address, then my system, the GPS, will find the quickest route there. Now, that is how the mind body works. If you're experiencing anxiety, you are focusing on all of the wrong locations on that internal GPS. Right. Your sole job is to focus on only what you want. And therefore, when you combine that with what we're going to unveil as the gift, you will get total results.
That's great. And we got some great questions here for Joseph, so I want to take these, especially for our guests on the line who can benefit from it as well. Is being blocked, feeling gridlock and frozen a part of fear? And will that help? Will that help in relief of it?
It's the fear comes from limiting belief. Okay, so the gridlock, the stop, the self-sabotage, the lack of doing something is belief. The belief creates the emotion. So your job would be there to solely work on that limiting belief. Because let me ask this question, if you let go of that limiting belief, guarantee you that fear will not be there anymore. But if you let go of the fear, the belief will still be there. And then, well, guess what happens? You're working on the symptom, which is the fear. So therefore, the belief will keep on throwing up new symptoms. So you got to work precisely on that belief system. Great question.
How do I get over shyness to be more assertive?
Okay, so we've been programmed maybe from experience. I remember my life in the beginning. My teacher made me stand up in front of everyone when I was 12 years old and said, Joseph, if you don't understand this, you're never going to get anywhere. So I started to blush, have anxiety, and I became so unconfident. I mean, I couldn't even speak in public, like even to my friends sometimes. So it's like a limiting belief about myself that every time I went in certain situations, my body would react in some way. So if you don't feel confident, or let's expand that, if you don't feel, if you've experienced the anxiety again, or the inability to do something, we got to take it back to that belief system. As we went through our past, I'm sure there may have been 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 events which reaffirm that belief system, which is unconscious. If we can get the unconscious mind to learn from it, and that's the key word for everyone here, we're upgrading the system by learning. Anxiety is there to try to protect you. Fear is trying to protect you, but it doesn't do it in an efficient way. But if we can get your system to learn at an unconscious level, to be safer in a different way, you will feel at ease in every situation.
I love this. We got so many questions. I'm trying to set it up for you, my friend. So how do I overcome a stutter? That's always a great question from Ernest.
That's an interesting one. So with that one, I'd probably have to ask a few more specific questions, but I would probably ask the question, have you always stuttered? Mm-hmm. Like when you first learned to speak, did we do that? I'm sure the chances are we didn't, and there could be that 1 or 2 events again, right, which creates that. And in my experience, having worked, I mean, I've been doing this for, I think, 16 years now, like as a full-time hypnotist and not trainer for 15, but like for 12, 11 years or so as a trainer. Everyone has not came out the womb stuttering, okay? Mm-hmm. It happened through experience. There's been a limiting decision at a mind-body level. That limiting decision causes a certain strategy when it comes to speaking. If you let go of that limiting decision, then the body will start to do something different. We've seen it in experiences when people sing with a stutter, they don't tend to stutter because they're in the flow. They're operating at a different level. So it shows that we can switch it on and off, but we just have to program the unconscious mind.
That's great. And I see a lot of questions that's actually leading to this is like, how do we overcome our fear of like failures in the past when it comes to building our life now? And I mean, that's the general root of the question. So I think that would answer like about 6 questions on
yeah, because they are pretty similar, aren't they? Can you just repeat that to me again? How
do we overcome? So let's say I failed in my past. So like me, you know, I failed in several businesses and then I started having success. The question is, how do we overcome fear of past experiences of failure to be successful with like this business or anything we do in our lives?
Sure. Yeah, because here's the thing. I know you, Alex, you have a rock solid step-by-step system that always works every single time. Mm-hmm. But the only time that doesn't work is when the mind is not, like you said, the mindset, right? 80%
Absolutely.
mindset. So you might actually be having that lack of belief in yourself based on your past experiences. So the past experiences, those emotional significant events are dictating your potentiality. When we did the arm thing, your potential was just here. But when we went there in the mind, beyond that, guess what happened? Our body went there as well. So there's a perfect analogy that we can go beyond that. But ultimately, if you have failed in the past, it means your body is trying to protect you from failing again.
Right.
Now, there's only one way we can resolve that, and that is learning. Now, most people try to do this consciously. They try to and it's good. It works sometimes, right? Like counseling can work sometimes. Like we're talking about something consciously. But if we are just learning consciously, but if we do it unconsciously, we learn from the past. Mm-hmm. Those learnings keep us safe. That safety removes fear, worry, and doubt because of the past. So I can look back and go, look, Joseph, you failed all these times. Or now with my upgraded kind of mind, I can look back and go, you know what? All those events built me to this moment. It gave me the opportunity to do something different today. It caused me to wake up and learn from it and go, look, I'm going to stop right here and do what has to be done because I am growing as a person. Those events built me to this moment, and that means I can do anything from now on.
That's so awesome. And I remember, what was it? God, I forgot her name. She goes, but everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson, and you can see it either way. But as long as you can take that, then you can always learn from it, and I love that.
Every successful person has failed hundreds of times.
Absolutely.
But they succeeded, right? So they must have learned from, it's like the Edison quote, the 10,000 attempts to make the light bulb, right?
Yeah, because it wasn't 10,000 failures, it was 10,000 ways of not being able to light the light bulb, which eventually got me there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, okay, so a lot of the rest of your questions is the how, which we're going to share with you here in a second. But Hockey asked this question, what I think everyone could benefit from. How do I identify the root cause? Can the root cause be a person? And I'll let you answer that question. So could it be something outside of yourself, I think is what he's asking.
Absolutely not. In my personal opinion, this is all about your personal power. You may be reacting to that that situation. Here's the thing. I remember listening to an audio program once who was interviewing like this crazy billionaire, and it was about the economy and things like that. And his business was directly related to the economy, which just crashed. He said, well, what are you going to do? And the billionaire says, I refuse to participate in the economy like that.
Right.
I refuse to participate in the crash.
I think he was saying, he goes, wait. He goes, what do you mean economy? He goes, you mean my economy? My economy is great. I don't know about the rest of the economy, but my economy is doing fantastic.
So despite what shows up, and here's another thing, when it comes to Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, he said, it's an amazing book, and I've read it so many times. But he says, when we're unable to change a situation, we're challenged to change ourselves, which ultimately means when we change ourselves, we change the way we show up to the situation. So that means if we feel totally self-worth, then we will change how we react to that person who's been trying to hold us back. We'll either motivate them, change them, and transform them by being an example of what can be done.
That's great. I love, but there's some really great comments, and I love, like Nicole says, if this could fix the anxiety I had for the last 35 years, it'd be worth my whole entire investment just to get rid of the anxiety. So you were talking about the feeling. That's so awesome.
It is a life changer. I mean, I say this by everyone because you don't actually probably know this, but I was crippled with anxiety, fear, and doubt. I would wake up going to school every day and constant.
In fact, people don't know about your story, just, but like, you want to share a little bit about, because I know, you were severely overweight, and you came over and you overcame a lot of things to be where you're at today.
Yeah, I used to blush all the time as a kid. Ever since I could remember, I used to have anxiety. I used to have low self-esteem. I didn't believe I was good enough. It was in a horrible job. I was overweight, doing bad things I didn't want to be doing. And then I decided that something had to change. And fortunately for myself, and my dad learned hypnosis a year or two before, so I was like a guinea pig at the time. And then I was like, this is pretty cool. I let go of a few of my issues. So I went on a course, and then through the education with my unconscious mind, here's the thing. People have issues because they're out of rapport with their system. And our job, and we think about it, most people have been hypnotized by society, by their experience. So if we can begin to go on the inside and rebuild that connection with ourselves, like I did and like you've done over the years, you will transform your life. I mean, I have experienced those deep issues of not believing I'm worthy and good enough. Now I can speak on stage in front of 500, 1,000 people and thrive in it. I couldn't do that to one person. That would give me heart palpitations and anxiety. It would be crazy.
So you overcame all those things, and by really tapping into your subconscious, which was not feeling good enough and not feeling loved, essentially. Those are essentially two of the roots. And
you know what, to everyone, I want you to be so thankful for your issues right now, because I am so thankful for my issue because it caused me to show up today different.
Exactly.
That's the blessing and the learning, right? I can begin to realize, and you'll all realize this soon, in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, you'll be blessed for what you've been through because it's giving you the education, the insight to personally grow as a person.
Absolutely.
So I'm thankful for my old issues, because if it weren't for them, I'd be living a mediocre life.
Right. I always say, I've been very thankful for everything I've been through in my life, because it allows me to have empathy for everyone that's gone through it. Yeah. You look at some of the great people, like even Tony Robbins, right? And Oprah, like they've dealt with some unbelievable things in their life, but because they have such a deep level of compassion that allows them to connect with people at such a stronger way. They get relatable because they've done that. So
yeah, and that's why I love you so much, Alex, because I know where you've been.
Right.
And I know that you can take from people where they are right now to be able to overcome those things, because you've been in similar situations. And because you've overcome that, you've got the step-by-step system. I mean, that's how it is, right?
And then you want to help others. So this is awesome.
That's the purpose and the passion.
The rest of these questions, I love this. So guys, we're going to answer all these on the second webinar we're about to do for you guys. So for all of you who are guests here, you're asking some questions about 8-figure dream lifestyle. This is great. That's what the masterclass is really designed for, guys. So you want to get back to the person that invited you. A couple of you asked, I don't know who invited me. Here's how simple it is. You probably got somebody who sent you an email, a text, and just so you understand, that's my favorite question when someone says, I don't know who invited me, because that shows you how well the automation works in our business. So you probably got a text or an email, or someone called you and left you a message that somehow you got this link. Go back to that email, go back to that text, and just text them back saying, would you please send me the link to your free masterclass? And they'll send it for you for the on-demand webinar. That's going to explain the strategy of how we're able to make money and how this product also is in alignment with that, okay? Now, for the rest of the members that are here, we got 2 surprises for you. One of them I'm going to share with you here, and this is what's so awesome. How would you guys like to have, like, Joseph's complete confidence mastery? Would that be pretty cool? Raise your hand if you guys comment, if you guys think this would be awesome. All right, everybody, I want to see comments if you guys think would love to have products that you guys can literally use. Okay, so anybody want to take a tour? I want to show you guys this. This is so awesome. So these products are now in your back office, and I'm going to show you this. I'm so excited about this, guys. So here's where it goes up. So here's the products. And if it's under the $6,000 package, guys, if you just go and you click on the open product, we put it here because it should be like the preliminary for everyone. But I've actually got a second surprise for you, and this is just the first one. And the second one even gets better. But the first one is this is his complete confidence mastery. So right now, first thing I want you guys to do is just say thank you to Joseph on here. Everything is here. You guys can listen to these modules or audios. You can literally click on it, follow the link, and it will play all these audios for you. And it's really, really phenomenal, guys. And this is what it sounds like. I just want to show you. If you think Joseph sounds good on a live webinar, you should hear him on his recording. He's like, no offense, he's even better, believe it or not. These are phenomenal. You guys have this in your back office. You can listen to it. Everyone's comment. I don't know if you've seen the chat lines. It's literally blowing up. So that's awesome. Now, here's the funny part. That's your first surprise. That's not even the best part of what I'm about to cover with you. Hold on. So let me finish this. So here's the cool part. So for all you guys that are members, that's not all. We got a second one, and I've literally got to tell you the story behind this because this is huge. So Joseph and I have known each other for the last year and a half now. This is probably one of the most giving guys you've ever met. When I first told him, essentially, we were just starting out the company, and he's like, he asked me, what is it that I wanted to focus on, and what were some of my roots? And I told him my biggest 2 roots was the fear, like not being loved and not feeling enough for everything that I wanted to accomplish. So he actually made me a customized track with my name in it, and he literally took everything that was literally customized for me. And he said, hey, what is it for you? So I told him the story. He used my wording, made me a customized track. I've been listening to it every morning and every night. And I can, without doubt, say that's one of the major reasons why we are where we're at today, or where I'm at today. It's a major gift to him, right? So after having this year relationship, we came back and said, Joseph, I want to be able to get some custom tracks made for our 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle members. And what was so gracious on him is he's like, tell me the 4 fears that most people are dealing with, because I want to make custom tracks just for your members that has to pertain to them. So that is the second surprise. And I'm not going to share it with you on this webinar because I got to get a link that's just for members only. So here's what we're going to do. So for the members, we're going to be doing a special webinar right after this, along with Matt, and we are going to show you how you guys are going to use these special content audios that are specific to 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle members. And Matt has made a daily success activity that we've combined this. Thanks to Joseph's course and the feedback, we combined it with a daily success active so you guys know exactly what to do in your business every single day and how to use these audios in the morning and night. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to do another webinar. I want you guys to keep an eye on Skype, And I want you to go to the Facebook members only, and we are going to share that link with you now, and you guys can jump on, and we're going to do it just for our members, okay? So for those of you who are not members, I just want to say, number one, thank you so much again. We hope that you found a lot of value. I'm just going to tell you what I learned from this. One, if just some of the things you guys definitely want to learn. One is you can basically have the root, if you can discover what the root is, and if you could get your subconscious to where you can have it where you know what are some of the fears of the things that are coming up and know about in advance, you can plan for it. The second part is behind all of us, there's a subconscious and there's a root behind it. And if you discover the root and you can overcome that self-sabotage, then you can absolutely be able to do everything you want in your life. And that's where we're about to be able to show you guys. Get back to the person that invited you. I want to say thank you so much to Joseph for sharing his insights, his wisdom, things that have been getting results for so many people. And for those of you that are not members, guys, get back to the person that invited you. As you guys can see, we have a huge business background. The webinar you're going to see is a no BS webinar. I know you guys have probably seen so much online. Maybe you haven't had success. This is we don't believe in BS. We come from a business background. What you're going to see on this webinar is a step-by-step of our entire system, why it's worked, hundreds of positive testimonials of how people have been able to make 5 figures online, been able to spend time with their families and do the things that they were meant to do in life versus having to pay bills every month. And we are so passionate about that, as you guys can probably tell from this call. So get back to them for that free masterclass. They're going to send you the link. And for those of you who are members, like right now, be taking a look. We're going to send you guys the link. And what we're going to show you, for those of you who are looking at this business, we're going to show you a way to get to 10K a month within 60 to 90 days. And we're going to show you how to do it online and do it from home while dictating your own schedule, okay? So with that said, guys, I want to say thank you so much for your time. For those of you who are guests on this call, thank you for taking time. We hope you found a lot of value. Get back to the person that invited you. For those that are members, I'm so excited to share the second surprise for you. Join us on the members only, and we will send you the link. If you're on the Facebook, you'll see a Facebook Live. If you're on Skype, you're going to see a link to a Zoom webinar, so jump on there now. And Joseph, you'll definitely be joining us because I want you to see everyone's surprise, their expressions as we share this really, really cool thing that we just put together. Thanks to you and thanks to Matt. So guys, we'll see you there in a second. All right.
Thank you ever so much, everybody. I really appreciate you all being here. And whatever it is, wherever you are, whatever you think you are, you're always more. So let's go ahead and crash it. Thank you.
I love it. Thanks, Joseph. Guys, we'll see you on the other side. Bye.